What is it like taking a Royal Caribbean cruise in the middle of a global pandemic? There were many highlights, but also some things that you should be aware of before booking your own cruise. So pack your bags. I will take you on my Christmas 2020 sailing on board the Quantum of the Seas. Let's start with the positive. The crew's cheerful vibes set a positive tone throughout the experience. I always felt that the staff were welcoming, energetic, and customer service oriented. In this sense, if ships were airplanes, then this would be the Singapore Airlines. We were always greeted warmly by Kadek at the Windjammer. How do you say Merry Christmas in Bahasa?
In Bahasa, same. Merry Christmas.
Same, Merry Christmas. And I also met my Mexican brother on board. Hola, aquí es mi hermano. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Hola, yo me llamo Esteban de México. ¿Cómo están?
Bien, yo soy Esteban también, pero de Alemania.
Biget Ine.
¿Y de dónde eres en México?
Yo vengo de la ciudad de Playa del Carmen.
¿Y desde cuándo estás en este ship?
Desde hace casi 3 meses ya.
And Olha taught me how to say Merry Christmas in Ukrainian.
Щасливого Різдва. Щасливого Різдва. Різдва. Almost.
Yeah, I'm an embarrassment. This one is easier. Maligayang Pasko. And let's not forget JJ's positive energy. There were countless more amazing staff. Thank you all for making our trip. Let's look at how the COVID safety precautions affected our passenger experience. Starting off, to even be allowed to board, we had to take a COVID test 2 to 3 days before the cruise. This was done at Raffles City, which is a central shopping mall in Singapore. And I like that the testing was done before boarding day, because as a result, there's no bottleneck while boarding. I've had a few tests now, and it consistently tickles. Next, we were given a wristband on boarding, which is used for contact tracing. This wristband has to be worn at all times, except when you're in your room, and it can get quite uncomfortable. There are frequent checkpoints throughout the ship where we had to tap our card, as well as have our temperature taken. I'm generally pretty cold. My ex was right. Just like in Singapore, face masks have to be worn at all times on the ship. Except, of course, when you're in your room, eating, drinking, in the pool, or working out. Even just while lying at the pool deck, you must keep your mask on. This would create awkward tan lines on the face. And you would be immediately reminded by the crew if your face mask accidentally came off. Of course, not that I would do that, for the record. Royal Caribbean did a decent job reducing touch points throughout the ship where germs might spread. For example, menus at restaurants were digital, scanned by a QR code. But one big oversight are the elevator buttons. They are hard to press. I had to smother my fingers all over those buttons a few times before the button would be clicked. And I saw other people struggle in the same way. Lastly, for the safety measures, this ship only sailed at 50% capacity, which it may sound nice, but keep in mind that the capacity at venues throughout the ship is also cut, so I didn't actually feel like I benefited from it. Now, these safety measures may feel annoying at times, but in the end, there's a reason why Singapore got COVID-19 under control, and it's precisely because of these effective safety measures. Our ship sailed out into the South China Seas, northeast of Singapore, and pretty much just went in circles. Kind of like me in life, huh? This is why they call it the cruise to nowhere. Enough on safety, let's get to the second highlight. The dining process on board is confusing. Now, I'm not the brightest star in the sky, but our initial booking for the cruise was even rejected because I had selected the wrong dining slot. And once on board, depending on whom we asked, we got contradicting answers on how the dining process works. In the end, none of this seemed to matter. We could just eat anywhere, anytime we wanted. I don't know why they make it so complicated. Windjammer is a buffet-style restaurant that serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The food choices are as diverse as they are delicious. We ate here quite a bit throughout our cruise. As a safety precaution, you could not serve yourself, but that did not impact the experience. With food, I'm quite easy to please. Just give me cheese and I'm happy. Could I get the one in the middle with the hole, please? Towards this one? Yes, exactly. I like that. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Eggs and more? I wonder what the more is. Sometimes it's better not to know. Pretty much everything at the Windjammer was delicious. There are also several fine dining places on board. Do keep in mind that any place where I don't need to get the food myself is fine dining to me. We tried several of such places and the food was consistently excellent. Be happy. Another culinary highlight is Sorrento, which is a place that serves snacks such as salad, pizza, cake until 3 a.m. Just like on our last cruise with Genting, this one also tries to upsell on drinks packages. However, the price of 350 Singapore dollars for a 3-day cruise was off-putting, so I did not get it. Keep in mind that water and non-alcoholic drinks at the restaurants are free anyway. And prices of a la carte alcohol are okay. Though keep in mind that all prices listed on board are in US dollars, not Singapore dollars. This led to an unpleasant surprise on my credit card bill. As for entertainment, the booking process was very stressful. It is a mobile-based system, and when this broke down, it created a big, frustrating chaos. So we didn't really get all the shows we wanted to see. Some events do not require advance reservations, but this usually means that there will be long lines. Even if you come half an hour before, you may not get seats. And the shows that we did manage to see were mixed. One in particular was painfully boring, but there were 2 others that were awesome. We fell in love with the Aura band. We saw them perform a total of 3 times. The Beatles show also was fantastic. Yeah, and then there was high society stuff, which I'm not part of. Let's have a look around the ship. We booked the ocean view room with large balcony. This was not really by preference, but rather because it was the only room available. The room is okay, no complaints. Well, one complaint. There were no toiletries in the room, such as toothbrush or slippers, and there is no Singapore-style power plug. Those were 2 complaints. I really enjoyed the facilities on the ship. They had several pools, both indoor and outdoor, then a whole spa section, I don't know if that's what I should call it, with many jacuzzis and other stuff. And there were many other activities, such as a climbing wall. We only had to wait around 20 minutes here, and climbing on a wall while surrounded by the open ocean was really fun. There's also a multi-purpose indoor sports arena, and even though we tried from the very beginning, we couldn't get tickets for the bumper cars. It was all sold out almost instantly. We particularly enjoyed JJ's K-pop dance class. I would kindly ask you not to comment on this part of the video. The pain in your eyes should subside by tomorrow, I'd say. I would have liked to try the Flow Rider, but I would have had to wait in line for 2 hours, so not really worth it. And I love the gym overlooking the ocean, but you cannot just walk up to the gym whenever you want to. Reservations are needed ahead of time. And there's also a shopping mile for those who find the urge to buy a fine watch while on a cruise. Hey, I'm not judging. No, yeah, I'm judging. The ship was nicely decorated for the holidays. One area where Royal Caribbean could really improve is the booking process. The website is just awful. It almost made me not want to go on the cruise. Though, coming back to the positives, the boarding process was smooth. Our boarding time on December 24th was at 4 p.m. and it didn't even take an hour from arriving at the port to being in our cabin. We spent 3 days and 4 nights on board, and time flew. Before we knew it, this wonderful trip came to an end. Disembarkation was smooth. We got another COVID test, and we're on our way back to our dull lives without airplanes. So, was our experience on the cruise affected by the pandemic? Undoubtedly, the answer is yes. But this is entirely beyond Royal Caribbean's control, or anyone's control for that matter. And as for the things that are within Royal Caribbean's control, there will always be things that can be improved. However, the crew and food by itself already made this experience unforgettable. How do I say thank you for the great service in Bahasa?
Terima kasih atas kedatangannya dengan kami dan siling dengan kami.
Oh, I cannot remember.
Bisa.
Thank you. Terima kasih. Maraming salamat. Gracias. Diakuyo.